Order. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Councilwoman Perkins Dusty. Councilman Questa.
Here.
Councilman Jacques.
Here.
Councilman Grover.
Here.
Councilman Keenan.
Here.
Councilman Cedeno.
This is the best.
Councilman Ballman.
Here.
Councilman Mazza.
Here.
President Gonzalez.
Here. This is a regular conference of the City Council as incorporated in the annual meetings notice of 2012, which was filed in the City Clerk's office and posted on the bulletin board on December 27, 2011, and sent to the Star Ledger and Home News Tribune in compliance with the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Law of New Jersey. I will now open the public speaking portion of the meeting. Is there any resident or taxpayer wishing to address City Council may do so at this time. Name and address for the record, sir.
Robert Cohen from the city. I see 7 councilperson politicians are sitting in this room. The Honorable Donald Payne kicked the bucket, so I guess someone would be looking for the job. The Reverend wanted to go to Trenton. Maybe he could get more clout if he went to Washington. They have all these elections going on this year, and political action committees and fundraisers. A lot of stuff's going on.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Is there anyone else that would like to address City Council at this time? Seeing none, I close the public speaking portion of the meeting. We'll move on to new business.
Okay. Letter dated March 26, 2012, from the Business Administrator recommending awarding a contract to Route 23 Auto Mall, Butler, New Jersey, for auto parts for heavy-duty vehicles for various departments for the period March 17, 2012 through March 17, 2013, at a cost not to exceed $50,000.
Are there any comments? Put it on.
Letter dated March 26, 2012, from the Business Administrator recommending awarding a contract to Mid-Atlantic Truck Center, Linden, New Jersey, for auto parts for heavy-duty vehicles for various departments for the period March 17, 2012 through March 17, 2013, at a cost not to exceed $100,000.
Any comments? Put it on.
Letter dated March 26, 2012, from the Business Administrator recommending awarding a contract to Lawson Products, Inc., Yardley, Pennsylvania, for auto parts for heavy-duty vehicles for various departments for the period March 17, 2012 through March 17, 2013, at a cost not to exceed $75,000.
Are there any comments? Put it on.
Letter dated March 27, 2012, from the Business Administrator recommending awarding a contract to Delta Products, Sterling, New Jersey, for auto parts for heavy-duty vehicles for various departments for the period March 17, 2012 through March 17, 2013, at a cost not to exceed $50,000.
Any comments? Put it on.
Letter dated March 27, 2012, from the Business Administrator recommending awarding a contract to Air Braking Equipment, Hillside, New Jersey, for auto parts for heavy-duty vehicles for various departments for the period March 17, 2012 through March 17, 2013, at a cost not to exceed $75,000.
Any comments? Put it on.
Letter dated March 27, 2012, from the Business Administrator recommending awarding a contract to Associated Auto Parts, Linden, for auto parts for heavy-duty vehicles for various departments for the period March 17, 2012 through March 17, 2013, at a cost not to exceed $100,000.
Any comments? Put it on.
Letter dated March 27, 2012, from the Business Administrator recommending awarding a contract to Atlantic Detroit Diesel Allison LLC, Rhode Island, New Jersey, for auto parts for heavy-duty vehicles for various departments for the period March 17, 2012 through March 17, 2013, at a cost not to exceed $50,000.
Any comments? Put it on. I'd like to recognize Councilman Cedeno. Thank you, Mr. President.
Letter dated March 27, 2012, from the Business Administrator recommending awarding a contract to Campbell Freightliner, LLC, Edison, New Jersey, for auto parts for heavy-duty vehicles for various departments for the period March 17, 2012 through March 17, 2013, at a cost not to exceed $100,000.
Any comments? Put it on.
Letter dated March 27, 2012, from the Business Administrator recommending awarding contracts to Flemington Aluminum and Brass, Inc., Flemington, New Jersey, Signal Control Products, Inc., Branchburg, New Jersey, Marbalite Company, Inc., Manasquan, New Jersey, Traffic Parts, Inc., Conroe, Texas, and General Traffic Equipment Corp., Newburgh, New York, for traffic signal parts for the Electrical Bureau of the Police Department for a period of 2 years in an amount not to exceed $80,000 for each contract.
Any comments? Put it on.
Letter dated March 29, 2012, from the Business Administrator recommending awarding a contract to Garden State Highway Products, Vineland, New Jersey, for reflective sheeting for the Public Works Department for the period March 27, 2012 through April 30, 2012, at a cost not to exceed $10,000.
Any comments? Put it on.
Letter dated March 29, 2012, from the Business Administrator recommending awarding a contract to Computer Systems and Methods, Somerville, New Jersey, for the purchase of portable computer equipment and tough books for the fire department at a total cost of $14,890.50.
Any comments? Put it on.
Letter dated March 29, 2012, from the Business Administrator recommending awarding a contract to Skylands Area Fire Equipment and Training, Riverdale, New Jersey, for the purchase of firefighting equipment for the fire department at a total cost of $54,120.
Any comments?
I just have a question. What do we do with the old equipment?
I'm not certain.
What was the question?
I asked what do we do with the old equipment? This is the more modern stuff for the new guys coming out. Just wondering what we do with the old stuff.
What did you do with it?
Yeah.
That's what we did?
I don't know.
Oh, are you gonna get back to it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Any other comments? Put it on.
Letter dated March 29, 2012, from the Business Administrator recommending awarding a contract to Cooper Electric Supply Company, Tinton Falls, New Jersey, for the purchase of lamp, incandescent, HID, and fluorescent bulbs for various departments for the period March 27, 2012 through June 30, 2012, at a cost not to exceed $15,000.
Any comments? Put it on.
Letter dated March 29, 2012, from the Business Administrator recommending awarding a contract to Ben Schaefer and Associates, Lake Pecon, New Jersey, for the purchase of playground and park equipment for the Recreation and Public Works Department for the period March 27, 2012 through May 31, 2012, at a cost not to exceed $20,000.
Any comments?
Mr. President,
Yeah. Councilman Ball.
this probably, they might not fall on this contract, but eventually on our playground, land or safety zone, we have that, I guess, that wood fiber, I guess it is, what do you get that? Mulch. I'm inclined, I think, we start to replace that and go through, I think they make a much better fiber, a much better safety material for everything.
Yeah.
And it won't get disposed of so quickly. I think it's rubberized. And you know,
Car tires.
Excuse me?
Chopped up car tires.
Just chopped up car tires. I think we start looking into that. So maybe
We'll do, Councilman.
Don, you can mention it. I kind of mentioned it to him also, but it will that make it known here at the meeting. Sometime we can start looking. It's much better. Safety zone and landing, like I said, won't dispose somewhere.
Absolutely.
Any other comments? Put it on.
Excuse me, hi, how you doing?
How are you? Good?
Good, thank you.
A letter dated March 29, 2012, from the Business Administrator recommending awarding a contract to Garden State Highway Products, Vineland, New Jersey, for aluminum size blanks for the Public Works Department for the period March 27, 2012 through April 30, 2013, at a cost not to exceed $50,000.
Any comments? Put it on.
Letter dated April 2nd, 2012, from the business administrator, being satisfied that an emergency did exist, recommends the award of a contract to Glow Track Builders, Newark, New Jersey, for the demolition of 414, 420 McGee Avenue in the amount of $17,275.
Any comments? Councilman Keenan.
Yeah, I want to thank the city for its efforts to remove this property. There was a fire at this location, and for many, many months, the owner of the property was very, very unresponsive. Letters, phone calls, summonses. This was a bank. And the bank, apparently, their position was, despite the fact that this is now a dumping ground for trash, despite the fact that this is a public safety problem, we don't care. So it's come to the point where the city had to demolish the building, and I just hope in the future that we continue to try to be vigilant to get these property owners to respond, because it outrages the residents that you've got a burned out building there and that nothing appears to be done on it. So thank you very much.
Absolutely, Councilman. I agree with you 100%. I mean, given the lack of action on the part of the bank, the city took the action that it needed to at least make it safe for the
Thank
public.
Mr. President,
Yes,
can I just
Councilman.
add also to that, Don maybe pass this also. I've been trying to get 524 videos, South 4th Street, same scenario, caught fire, and it just need to be demolished.
Thank you, Council.
Okay, we need to get rid of it, because, you know, it's too large, undesired, people started dumping there, et cetera, so we need to get rid of it. Okay, thank you.
Councilwoman?
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Travis Solomon, can you, what is the procedure for knocking down, like these buildings that have fires? Because one resident inquired of me if the city can knock down their resident because it was a fire, and then I guess they would have to pay the city, right, for that service. Or how does that, how can?
It's a very general question, but I'll see if I can
Okay.
a little bit. But I don't want to talk about this particular case too much because there's litigation that's been filed.
Okay.
So with the McGee Avenue.
Oh, no. Here, it's not about the McGee Avenue, but it's another, it's on another area.
Or maybe I can take, I can answer
Oh,
that
okay, I'm
here.
sorry.
No, it's okay. When you have to get a declaration by the construction code official that it's an imminent hazard, and then once it's imminent, he makes that declaration, we have to notify the property owner and anyone that has an interest in the property, like a bank or a tenant or whoever may have an interest in it, give them time to respond. Usually the owner is given an opportunity to present a rehabilitation plan if they want to rehabilitate it. If they don't, then we go and get bids for the demolition and take care of it that way.
Okay, even if you know who the owner is?
Yeah, well, many times the owners drag on it, so, but you have to get the declaration of imminent hazard first from the
From the
construction.
consultant. Okay, thank you.
Then I believe a lien is placed on the property.
Oh, yeah, after there's a demolition, then we impose a lien, yes.
To recoup those that money.
That's correct.
Does it say that?
That's probably, after we get the amount that's finalized, then you'll get another letter with the amount.
That's correct.
That'd be under separate.
Yeah, the lien process is forthcoming, and I assume that'll be before you at a later date.
Okay. So, because we do know who the owners are of this property, right?
We do,
Mr.
correct.
Keenan?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? Put it on.
Letter dated April 2nd, 2012, from the business administrator, recommending awarding a contract to David Weber Oil Company, Carlstadt, New Jersey, for automotive lubricants, oils, grease, and hydraulic oils for various departments for the period March 29, 2012 through April 29, 2012, at a cost not to exceed $10,000.
Any comments? Put it on.
Letter dated April 3rd, 2012, from the Chief Financial Officer requesting that your honorable body consider the approval of a bond ordinance authorizing resurfacing of various roads in the amount of $3 million with a down payment of $150,000.
Any comments?
Mr. President,
Councilman Sedan.
if we could get a list of roads,
Streets that are
yeah,
gonna be paved.
that they're looking to pave. Thank you.
Sure. Any other comments? Put it on.
Letter dated April 3rd, 2012, from Chief Financial Officer, requesting that your honorable body consider the approval of a bond ordinance authorizing the cost of Holland Playground improvements and a skate park facility in the amount of $1,500,000 with a down payment of $75,000.
Any comments?
Yeah, just
Councilman Wong.
briefly. I know the councilwoman and I have been talking about this for a while. And I think I mentioned way back when, I think she can go again later, about, the skateboard, skaters out in the streets and
Right.
up and down the sidewalks and et cetera, et cetera. So we're looking to find a place that they call home, so to speak. And I think that you guys, Hollow Playground is kind of over there by Praise Lord Clouds, which is right near that Hispanic church, I forget the name of it.
Yeah.
But on 1 and 9
Right.
And,
Yeah.
Praise the
yeah,
Lord.
what's the name of it?
Praise the
Is
Lord.
it Praise the Lord? Okay, well, praise the Lord. Anyway, we met with the police there, and they all approve of it. They like it, think it's a great idea. And I'm hoping that I get cooperation from my colleagues that I think it's a win-win situation, because right now the park is really dead. There's barely anybody there. I tried a basketball program there some time ago. It lasted for a while, but it just petered out. So it might be no one's there. We still have a nutrition program there. We feed kids out, at the playground. So we eventually might lose the basketball court, but the playground's still going to be there, and we're still going to have a nice skateboard park that I think the kids will enjoy. It won't be as big as you see in McKenna Park or in Wheeler, and it's going to be designed so where if you want to have a concert or something there, it's going to be set up there. You might have a concert there, so I might have a Christian concert there for them to get so you come listen to some like Christian music. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, sounds good. Yes,
Yes,
Councilman.
thank you. Yeah, I do want to thank my colleague Bill Bowman for working, with the community, myself, and the recreation department on this park. I think it's going to be a very nice facility. Not only is it going to be skateboarding, but they're going to have little domino tables for the seniors can play dominoes while the kids play on the skate park. And it's a good project. And Highland Park is a very special park because it was named after a veteran from Vietnam, one of the Vietnam vets, an African American resident. So it's going to be a real nice project, and I want to thank the administration, tell Mr. Odessa thank you for moving forward on this.
Sure, Councilman. Any other comments? Yeah, I certainly agree with you. Anything that we can do to help improve and provide outlets for our youth is certainly well worth it. So, looking forward, it sounds like it's exciting. I'm sure the neighborhood's going to be excited about it, and I think it will be a great asset to the city. So, thank you for the great. Thank you. Put it on.
Letter dated April 3rd, 2012, from Chief Financial Officer, requesting that your honorable body consider authorizing the issuance of refunding bonds for the refunding of a portion of the city's 2003 general improvement bonds and providing for the form, maturities, and other details of said bonds. Authorize a preliminary official statement and an official statement providing for the sale of the refinancing bonds. And approve and authorize the execution and delivery by the City of Elizabeth, a continuing disclosure certificate, a bond purchase agreement, and an escrow deposit agreement in an amount not to exceed $8,800,000.
Any comments? Put it on.
Letter dated March 30, 2012, from the Director of Health and Human Services, requesting permission on behalf of the United States Environmental Protection Agency Region 2 to establish and maintain a trailer, housing, and air monitoring unit adjacent to the new soccer field along the Arthur Hill Waterway near Pine Street for approximately 2 years.
Any comments? Put it on.
Letter dated March 29, 2012, from the Director of Planning and Community Development, requesting on behalf of the State of New Jersey Department of Community Affairs to amend Agreement Number 2009-02293, 1757-1, under the Neighborhood Stabilization Program, specifically to modify other sources of funds section, extend award period to September 30, 2012, modify project title and purpose, change use of funds from redevelopment to rehabilitation, modify budget line items, modify program components, modify the objectives and scope of services, and authorize proper city officials to execute any and all documents necessary in connection with said amendments.
Any comments? Put it on.
Letter dated March 30, 2012, from the Director of Planning and Community Development, requesting authorization for the proper city official to reprogram and transfer the unexpended balances to the holding account as listed on Schedule A attached and made a part hereof in the amount of $66,256.14.
Any comments? Put it on.
Letter dated March 30, 2012, from the Director of Planning and Community Development, requesting authorization for the proper city officials to purchase from Dell 2 Optiplex 790 mini tower standard PSU computers in the amount of $2,150.36.
Any comments? Put it on.
Letter dated March 23, 2012, from the Director of Public Works, requesting that your honorable body consider the approval of Pasquale Vella, the City of Elizabeth Recycling Coordinator, to endorse the submission of the recycling tonnage grant application to the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection to ensure that the application is properly filed.
Any comments? Put it on.
Letter dated April 2nd, 2012, from the Director of Public Works, recommending awarding a contract to CHA Consulting Inc., Princeton, New Jersey, to provide professional engineering services plus reimbursement for the design and construction management of the improvements to the O'Brien Field at a cost not to exceed $205,800.
Any comments?
Yeah, Mr. President.
Yeah.
With regards to this O'Brien Field, did this cause the way that Councilman Mazza called me, the councilman to my left, the other night at the ABC meeting? Was this the argument that occurred here at City Council on the O'Brien Field that led you to change the rules?
I remember that night. That was back in January. That
yeah, I think it was about the O'Brien Field,
and it did have something to do
the
with
councilman
that.
mentioned the fact that he didn't know anything about the O'Brien Field project, and that he was concerned. He had some concerns about the project. I have some concerns about the project also. One of my concerns is the field going to be leveled off? Does anybody know that?
And Don,
Find out for you, Councilman.
Because O'Brien Field, as it sits right now, dips. Okay, and the other thing is that will Petrocelli's funeral home or Corsentino's funeral home still be using the O'Brien Field as a parking lot? The fencing around the field, will it be replaced? Will the trees be cut down that are there? And if they are, will they be replaced with more trees?
at this point, from my understanding, we're just identifying the funding to do the project. And then later on, we will get more details as to the specifics of the project.
But I thought, didn't you see some literature about replacing the fencing around that whole?
No.
No, I thought we did.
No, we just identified the funding for the project.
Well, this letter says the design of improvements to the existing field will include construction of synthetic turf It will include drainage, infrastructure improvements, soil testing,
Right.
removal, and removal. I don't know if there's any hot spots there, but that would be interesting to know.
Councilman, my understanding is that I don't want to say it's premature, but those things will be figured out in due course.
Okay, because I do have, you know, I mean, I lived in that area for some time in the 6th Ward, and I know the people down there as well as Councilman Mazza knows that people have been clamoring for that improvement to happen for a long, long, long period of time. I don't know what kind of influence I'll have over the project, but the thing is that I do hope that, you know, once the information does forthcome, that we'll be able to make some recommendations, because I have, in my previous capacity as the supervisor of health, physical education, safety, and athletics at the Elizabeth Board of Education, I have a lot of ideas that could help. And it wasn't too long ago that I proposed pretty much the same type of thing happen at the park over at School 14, which we could not do anything with because it was owned by Kellogg family, so we couldn't make any improvements there. So I mean, I would like to be involved in the design of this thing so that you know, as the same as Councilman Mazza, because some of us have been waiting for this to happen for a long, long time. So I appreciate anything, you know, you can come back with, because those are, you know, concerns.
Not only will I pass on your concerns / questions, but I'll also...
I mean, there are a whole host of other questions that go along with it. I mean...
I'll let the director know so that you can have direct input.
And why is it going through the Public Works Department and not the Recreation Department?
I think it's a construction project.
Yeah.
Okay. Councilman Mazza?
Yeah, Mr. President, at exactly 5:41 p.m. this evening, Mr. Perry called me to alert me that whatever we have before us this evening will be on the agenda. And I did mention to him, I said, well, Mr. Perry, I understand it's going to be in the before City Council, but if you remember, I have many input, just like the Councilman at Large, Mr. Jack has mentioned, my dear friend. And at the same time, this wasn't the issue that brought us to talk to each other as a describing the individual person according to Robert rules, but it was a different kind of a debate on something else that took place at a regular council meeting. So I do agree with the Councilman at Large, Mr. Jackas, that there are a lot of questions to be answered. One of the questions that I raised to Mr. Vaperi when they first come up, I said, but listen, I am an environmental person. I believe in trees. I believe on birds to make their nest above the trees. I like to have fresh air, eliminating the pollution. This AstroTurf kind of field is going to cut all the trees we have around O'Brien Field because that will be able to eliminate the, the leaves and branches and whatever. That was explained to me, and I personally, if this project is going to cost, let's say, if I don't remember exactly, it might be $3 million to almost $3 million, I would like to hire 5 people so we could create a job for 5 people. I would like to have natural grass. I would like to have an input of my people that are living in the area. This is only, I was telling today, they're going to do the drawing preparation of what the field might be look like or whatever. Also creating a parking for, I don't know for who, but at least for people to use. If it's going to be a soccer field, we also need parking in the area. Currently, right now, some of the funeral home in the area, they do parking all over the grass, which the field is in terrible condition. We allow that to do because recreation never took a special eye to O'Brien Field ever since it became a soccer field. So we were like third-class citizen, people that play that kind of sports versus other area which they spend $8 to $9 million taxpayers' money or grant money to take care of children, which is okay. Again, I like to stress that I'm in favor. Now, as even in a letter, I remember when I first came to America, I used to see some kind of a truck flushing oil on the grass. And I said to myself, these people must be nuts. What are they doing? And then an old man that used to be living not too far away, your grandfather's house, Rockwell, he explained to me, because Counselor, this is to reduce the dust to go up and down, you know. I said, but they're going to put oil, you know. It was actually, now there might be an area that will be contaminated, that how much, I don't know, I'm not the expert. But if that is the case, we want the site to be cleaned accordingly, and a fence to be, you know, a new fence. Or I had the fence repaired a couple times. Don't forget, we have people that after hours they break and steal, they can steal. Many times I called the police department to alleviate the problem that existed late at night in O'Brien Field. But one night, there was like 1 o'clock in the morning, I was seeing from my window, and the radio car, they could spot those 5, 6 people that were making noise, yelling and screaming until 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. So it's good to have a project, but this is only going to be a phase for the drawing, and I'm even checking $205,000 with, you know, it's substantial money, but I'm not going to be the one to stop the project. I'd like to see progress to go on, even on my word, finally, for the change. And I think once we have the engineer doing whatever drawing, and then that's where the input comes in, not only as a 6-ward councilman, but you know, the larger have also the right to say whatever they want to say. And my neighbors, my community in the area, I want to have them to put some input, whether it's the right way to go or go a different way. So I'm not going to be the one to stop this project. So I am in favor. It's about time that we spend money in O'Brien Field. But the money has to be spent wisely and what is the best for the area community. One of the councilmen, I don't remember who, mentioned at one of the meetings that AstroTurf is the way to go. Yes, I remember when we did a Williams Field, that was the way to go. But let me tell you, the heat that comes out of that field and the smell of the rubber and the oil or whatever, you know, sometimes it's really, it's not too healthy for the children to be on rubber. You'll be smelling, you know, day in and day out, and especially when you're pumping yourself up, you breathe that rubber smell into your lungs or whatever. I don't know what could happen to the children. There's something that maybe was never proved, or whether there's a feasible or healthy way to do that. That's why I'd love to see the field like was done on the first ward, you know, for our children. But maybe we could do the same field. If every 5, 10 years, according to some expert, you have to redo it again, you know, maybe you could save a lot of money if you just go natural grass, you know. But
well, I think, those are points that you're making in discussions with the
architect,
public works director, and the architect, and you know. And again, what we're doing tonight is just approving a resolution to, you know, to award the contract for the design and consulting management of the project. And I'm glad to see that the public works director has reached out to you, because he wants to work with you and, you know, and do what's best for the community as well.
Ever since I raised my voice as the word comes, this would have been Mr. Paternoster at the time, and believe me, I don't think you guys would ever say an extra additional words. But being that I'm a little bit more polite than some people might think, okay, this is taxpayers' money, and I'm the ward councilman. The administration make recommendation. I went along to a lot of decisions that the administration made recommendation. Not necessarily I was happy, but I bit the bullet and I went along with it, because I want progress in our city, the city that I live in. So, and that's why I told Mr. Barry, don't worry about it, but as long as I have an input, you know,
and
amen.
Obviously, that's what he's trying to do, is get your input, Councilman.
Thank you.
Mr. President, if I may,
Yes.
I just have to, I have to add this in, because there are a few fields in the city that are moving forward that are not this way. This field should be multi-purpose. Actually, again, going back to the School 14 park, when I suggested it, there was a plan to actually put a track, a laid out track, and you could do that on the turf, on the synthetic turf. Also, there should be a softball field there also, because O'Brien Field was predominantly used as a softball field.
Right, I agree with you.
Now, Frank, you mentioned, I remember as a young kid, 8, 9 years old, every field in Elizabeth was laced with the oil.
Right.
And I remember as a little boy not being able to play baseball for 2 days because it was prevented. You couldn't go on the field for 2 days until the oil dried, where it sunk in to where it was supposed to be. But definitely the multi-purpose field, and if you're going to do it, and you're going to do it right, if you're going to put the multi-purpose field in with the track for the seniors so they have a place to walk, because there's nowhere to walk down there other than Montano Park, hopefully it's lit.
That was another issue that we...
So when the people do walk, especially the seniors, if they want to go out after dinner, they're not worried about not being safe.
Right.
Okay, it will be lit. So it should be a soccer field, a softball field. It should be a track for the seniors and those who want to use it to walk. They have a place to go other than the street or the sidewalk.
Okay. Thank you, Councilman.
Amen.
Okay. All right, put it on.
Councilman Cedeno has requested a handicap parking space at 43 Orchard Street be posted on. Letter dated April 2nd, 2012 from Melly Mel Productions in conjunction with the Elizabeth Cabanos Lions Club. Elizabeth respectfully request your permission to present the 19th Annual Elizabeth Waterfront Festival at the Veterans Memorial Waterfront Park on May 26 and 27, 2012, from 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. Music from both stages will cease at 7 p.m., beer at 8 p.m., and vendors at 9 p.m.
Any comments? Put it on.
Mr. President,
Yes, Councilman.
I just want to go back to the tonnage report for the recycling. Don, can you get me, I'm assuming they've completed it, that's why they're endorsing it, I'm assuming.
I think it's in the application phase, Councilman.
Could we get a comparison of how much money we were able to generate from recycling this year as compared to last year? This year, meaning 2011 as compared to 2010. Thank you. Sorry, Mr. President. Sure.
Almost $2 million. Yeah.
And then the commendation for Lily Cordova, retirement from Health and Human Services. And a resolution for the month of April as National Alcohol Awareness Month.
Anything extra?
Okay, we'll do the once around. Councilwoman Perkins suggesting.
No. April?
Anything else, Councilwoman? No? Councilman Gorman?
Yes, thank you.
Councilman Keenan?
Yes, I would like to outline an incident that happened last week at my block watch meeting on Wednesday night. A couple of the residents brought to my attention the fact that there were people standing at West Grand Street and Moore Avenue with sandwich signs saying "We buy gold." And I know from the past that this is not permissible under ordinance. First thing on Thursday morning, I spoke with Acting Business Administrator Don Calvisano, and I'm very pleased with the action he took. He reported to me prior to the meeting that on Thursday and Friday, 7 inspectors went out and summonses were issued, and that he'll be following up to see that they continue to go out. This is a situation where, through our block watch meetings, residents have informed us of a problem, and through the council person, immediately talked to the department head involved, and get results. And I just want to say thank you very much, Mr. Calvisano. You did a great job. That does it.
Great. Okay. Councilman Rowland.
I just wanted to make two points. First one is, Yolanda, that 4th Street and Marshall Street,
Yeah.
the three-way stop.
Yeah. When I spoke to them again today, he did say that after the fact, after I had
We got one thing, and I know all of us have had this problem, Don, we have to look into how we can expedite these studies, traffic studies. We hired a outside consultant to help our traffic department with these things, and they're still taking 3-4 months. It really should not. I mean, I requested this three-way stop investigation for Marshall Street and 4th Street back in December. We had a big accident there in December. The car went into somebody's front yard, and then last month in February we had another one. So, I mean, I just don't know why it takes so long to get things moving in that traffic department. Definitely something that has to be expedited.
I agree with you, Councilman, on that point, because I had in January requested for a 4-ton weight limit street. Still have not gotten word on that. Lidgerwood Avenue.
Lidgerwood?
Well, the city clerk just made a second request for me.
And I know the 4th Ward has something going on.
Yeah.
So we all have.
In general, you have concerns about the timeliness of
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay.
And the second thing, and I'm going to share this only because I think other members of council probably have the same problem. I know Councilman Mazza mentioned it. We have these, they call double poles, double wood. Correct phrase is double woods. That's when PSE&G comes in and has determined that an old telephone pole needs to be replaced with a new one, which is great. However, in so doing, they leave behind the old pole, and at the base of the new pole, they leave a pile of red clay and concrete pieces that have been dug out in order to put in the new pole. And if it were for a period of weeks, not a big deal. But unfortunately, what's been happening is, from what I understand, the procedure is the last company or utility to remove their wires off the old pole are responsible for the removal of the old pole and cleaning up the site. So guess what? Nobody wants to be last. And if you are last, it seems like they don't want to get to it. So what's happened in my ward, I had my foreman from our public works department go around. He counted 52 poles that are in that situation, where you got an old one, a new one next to it, and a bunch of clay and dirt and concrete at the base. So Mr. Travisano is going to send this over to PSE&G and to Verizon on my behalf. It's just unacceptable. These utility companies are just doing whatever they want, and we have to really start cracking down on that. Because all the clay and the stuff over the years, that stuff washes into our sewers, and then you get a sediment that is silt based on the bottom of the line. So either they start giving us some sort of a timetable or giving us an idea of getting permits, maybe, so we can keep track of what's being put in, when they're going to take them out, because 2 years is just too much time. That was it.
I'm sorry, Councilman, you have to comment on Councilman
I'm
Rogers?
sorry, I just wanted to, in terms of the process for having our police department do the traffic study, is that, I know it's traffic, but it goes directly to the traffic division? To do
That's
the
correct.
traffic?
That's correct.
Is there a particular person that does it, or is it just the?
Lieutenant Dugan is in charge.
He's in charge, but he's not the one
He's the
who.
commander.
Well, he's the one that's talking about that.
I believe, yeah, he's the one that makes all the assignments on it.
I just wondered, but I thought we had hired, did we hire someone to do that?
TNM.
Oh, yeah, he and associates there.
It's his job then to forward it over to whoever the TNM is. If it requires their...
Okay, then why does traffic have to forward, or why can't we, the city clerk, just send it straight to TNM? Or send it, I'm just trying to see, you know, because it's leaving us, and then if we hired the person, why are we still involving the police department?
I think the police department has to be involved because they're going to have to keep track of where these signs are
I mean,
going
even
up.
if they do that, even if if we hired TMN to do the job, that's why when Councilman said, man said we hired someone to do it, I'm like, okay, then why are they doing it? I'm just saying, as a council, since we hire them, to do that, then why can't we just send it to them directly? They in turn send us back the findings to us and our traffic division before the determination is made. I mean, that, I don't know.
The reason why it may not be the best way to do it that way is you need a department director to be in charge of coordinating it. And if
But
it
even
goes,
if it,
if it
even
goes
if-
by him, then, you know, he loses that control.
I mean, even if there is a coordination internally, I mean, I'm thinking our request from the council should go directly to T&M. And if you need an internal control, then, you know, back it back. I'm just trying to find out an easier way, because we thought by hiring the consultant would make it easier, but obviously it has not.
Well, they need to work closer. I know they also require other information like traffic counts, like accidents,
Right, I understand
like
all of that.
laws, traffic
But
laws,
then,
and
then
what
let's put the
have you.
onus
So,
on TM, let them get all the information, the preliminary information. I'm just trying to make it easier, you know, for the,
I just
for
want
the
to say I'm not,
colleagues, yeah.
I'm sorry, Councilman.
I'm sorry.
I don't know what the circumstances are
Right.
behind the delay. I can only bring your concerns to both the police department as well as the consulting engineer and do what we can to speed up the process.
Because I'm saying we hired them so that we were hoping that the process would be speed up, but it's like gotten worse.
No, I agree. If it means sending a copy to all three parties
That's what
at
I'm
the same
saying.
time, then maybe that's what needs to be done.
So that everybody has
We'll let our
a
expert here
responsibility, not just keep
coordinate.
putting it on the police department, who we supposed to be relieving them of some of that work.
Don's gonna come up with a magical plan.
That's fine.
there you go, Travis.
Oh, yeah, Travis, he's the man, yeah.
By the way, bringing that up, and I just remembered, I requested several months ago, and they provided a preliminary report that they were going to revise T&M that has to do with the stop signs and shortening the distances. And there was going to be a pilot. I provided the names of some streets. Mr. Estrada was looking into it and had some contact with T&M, but still I have no final report on that. That's been a year about. So, and it's something that we need to create some parking for the residents in the neighborhoods, and this will allow us to do that.
I'll also bring that to their attention as well.
So, okay.
Was that handicaps?
No, no
Remember
handicaps.
this, I'm sorry.
State legislation that was passed allowing the municipalities to shorten some of the distances at crosswalks and stop signs and things of that nature, because they took into account the parking shortages that there are in different areas, and that is to facilitate creating additional parking for the neighborhoods.
Oh, there's a street.
What is it, 50?
It's 50 from a stop sign and 25 from a
Right.
corner.
So now
Crosswalk.
maybe make it 25
25.
on the stop sign,
Right.
15, you know,
Exactly.
something like that.
But still, like within the schools, that was where.
They were prohibited
Yeah,
from
they
that,
were.
yeah. So like in the third ward, there is no school bus, one or two, so it could benefit major sections of the city.
And then there was still a lot of discussion around that as to what really is a school zone and that. So that was some of what was holding it up. So. Okay, Councilman Mazza.
Mr. President, some time ago, maybe 7-8 months ago, I requested by the infant center, South Street, below the 6th podium, which thank God is going down for demolition. That became an area for drugs activity just across from Elizabeth High School. A lot of the police department was busy almost on a daily basis, of young children going inside and do whatever they were doing. But right, we have the infant where, which is a couple hours below. I request a sign to be placed, no parking from 7:30 a.m. to whatever, because we have to have buses or people dropping them off, and the current sign said no parking from 8:30. So if you could change that request 6-7 months ago, I don't know what happened, and can we request it again? I mean, even though we might probably didn't act because of the ordinance that has to go for a change, is that correct? Citywide right now, there's no parking starting at 8:30, right, Manny? For schools and whatever, yeah. There's a sign, there's no parking from 8:30 on. There must be an ordinance. I want that ordinance to be changed from 7:30. We start school at 7:30 now.
7:30, Councilman?
Yeah, 7:30 kids must be in a classroom, so that means we want the ordinance to comply with the schedule of the school, no parking from 7:30. And I requested that 6, 7 months ago.
I thought the ordinance was you couldn't park in front of a school, period.
Well, I mean, this is across from the school,
Right,
right?
That's state law, right?
yeah.
So, if they could do that, we'll be alleviating half of the problem for those parents or buses and whatever.
School days only.
School days.
Oh, it says school days.
Mr. Martha, just a suggestion. What if it would be like 7 in the morning? Just because I know a big problem we have in schools is the double parking. So like like the 30 minutes before they're dropping off their kids, they would have that space to park, pull up in front of the school to drop them off.
You suggesting 7 a.m.?
He's not,
I'm just.
he's not talking
Yeah.
about in front of the school, he's talking about across the street.
In the front of the,
Oh, okay,
the
okay.
infant center of a horsey house,
Oh,
below
okay,
the
okay.
640, there is a sign, 8:30, no parking. We started school at 7:30, so I'd say, put a sign 7:30 or 7:15, so we'll have that parking in the front of the infant center, free and available for the bus to drop off and go, and the parent, it's a safety for our future children. So that was over 6 months ago, and I have also several locations that I inquired about it. The councilman, whatever happened to Grove Street and Vine? The light was knocked down by a traffic, if you remember, and I called the police department and was requested to replace that flashing light, and then we even requested a four-way stop if it was possible. Once the study was made, do you recall that?
Right. And I remember you requesting it. I don't never recall
There were
receiving
two-
anything.
Yeah, there were 3 accidents that had happened 4 or 5 months ago. I have a letter that went out to the city clerk, I'm sure she has a record there, requesting to replace immediately. If I think the answer was, well, it's going to cost a lot of money, we don't have to look at the budget. Guess what? We've been approving millions of dollars on Midtown Elizabeth or whatever for Union County College and Broad Street and this and that, state-of-the-art light. This is a very dangerous corner, which is between
You
New Ward and
Grove
my...
and Vine? Because that's a flashing light there.
Well, that flashlight was knocked down by an accident. So if it was knocked down by Mr. Mazza, Scott, as an example, Mr. Mazza's insurance must reimburse the city and pay for it. So the city should go out and get the lights, replace, and charge Mr. Mazza's insurance. Does it work that way?
Sometimes. You sure?
Sometimes. Well, and if it doesn't work that way, we have plenty of money buried someplace in different accounts.
You sure it was Grove? I thought it was the Heart.
No, Grove Street.
Grove and Vine?
D-Hart, I got the lights, D-Hart and Murray, we got the three-way stop. That's okay, that was done.
That was, okay.
Right. This is Grove Street and Vine Street.
Right.
Well,
Right there, right by the
Right.
pharmacy.
if I showed you what amends I got from the police department in charge of whatever, you're gonna be laughing because I got records to prove how many times it was requested or whatever. And you know what? What are we doing? Sleeping?
I'm gonna take a look at it.
No. It's gonna affect you wards too, and the guy that owns the candy store across from the
Yeah, there's the
pharmacy.
candy store, there's the pharmacy
I
right
know,
there.
you know what it is. So they should have been replaced, and that's been quite a bit of months. Matter of fact, we ordered the lights to go on Broad Street. After this, they get done on Broad Street and East Jersey, which is okay. I'm not, but the first request was made 6 months ago. Don't you think you should do first request 6 months ago? The first one, and then you move on according to sequence.
As you can see, you have a number of things that have to do with traffic.
I know.
Traffic sound.
That's it.
That,
Have them all written down, Mr. President.
so, please,
All right, and that's it. Just pass.
okay, thank you. Councilman Questa.
I pass.
Councilman Sedan.
I just feel moved to add to Mr. Travisano's traffic list. I know how Mr. Grover mentioned before, in the intersection of Alinas Street and Cross Avenue, I had requested a four-way stop sign. Also, in the corner of North Broad Street in Salem, just like Councilman Keenan mentioned before, the concern of people standing outside with signs, we have usually someone in that corner too, North Broad in Salem, like We Buy Gold signs right there in the corner. So if that would be able to be addressed. And the last item, I just want to see if we could look into Wilson Park to improve the lighting situation there. And that's it. Thank you.
Councilman Jacobs.
Yes, Yolanda, can you please go into, I don't know if you still have it, Tony Pillow had a file
Okay.
with folders of all the council people. Can you check that file for me to see if in fact that proposal for the school fortune, what's the name of that department?
Carteret.
Carteret, that's right.
Carteret.
Thank you. Who said? Thank you. I forgot all about that. I lived there for years, but I forgot. Anyway,
It's the president's ward. He was- I'm sorry for stepping on your
That's
thunder,
okay,
Mr.
no,
President.
I'm trying to know.
I live 2 blocks. I live 2 blocks away from it, and I can't remember. Anyway.
We should just put a sign up.
There's a sign there now, so we'll never forget it.
Easter egg on it.
Put a sign up this past week.
Have the East Day over there all the time. Anyway, if you could find that proposal, because it was actually sent to the Star Ledger, Mike Murray. It was a big hoop-de-doo at the time.
Okay.
It'd be interesting if we could resurrect that and put that at O'Brien Field.
Okay.
Mr. Travisano, you may want to add this to your list. I guess Councilman Grova made a proposal about the new soccer field with synthetic turf, I guess a while ago, and we approved it back in October or November. And at that time, I told council members here that, yes, indeed, that there is a life expectancy of the synthetic turf. And at the same time, I mentioned the fact that the Board of Education at Williams Field was going to have to replace that $1 million field very shortly. If you go by Williams Field right now, that turf is now ripped up, and I guess another one's going down, along with another track. What I would like to know is, with technology that we have today, what is the life expectancy of that turf? How far will it go into the future before it actually has to be ripped up and replaced for safety concerns? Because that's the concern. Those rubberized pellets, when they come up, they can only stay so long, and then they got to be replaced, the whole thing. So my concern is that. And in today's dollar, the cost is one thing. What I would like to know is what the cost will be to the residents in 10 or 12 or 15 years down the line. Now, I'm a proponent of turf. I think it's a great thing. But I would like to know, if we're going to put a $1.5 million field in now, is it going to cost $6 million or $7 million 10, 12, 15 years from now? We need to know that. This way, the city has an idea. They can start, I don't know if you can budget that far into the future, but at least they'll know that these fields have to be replaced for the safety of whoever's using them.
Anything else?
That's it.
Motion to adjourn. So moved. Meeting adjourned.